This is the Immigration Answer Show with Jim Hacking, episode 21.
Welcome to the Immigration Answer Show with your host, immigration lawyer Jim Hacking. In each episode, Jim will answer your questions about the U.S. immigration system. Discover why the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, National Public Radio, and BuzzFeed.com have all featured Jim. And get the help you need navigating our complex immigration laws. Now, on to the show.
Welcome to the Immigration Answer Show, where we answer your immigration questions 3 days a week. You've got questions, and we'll do our best to answer them every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Now on to today's question about the U.S. immigration system.
Can I get my 10-year green card even if my marriage has fallen apart? We've had a few cases lately where a man has been married to a U.S. citizen and has filed to get the conditions removed on his green card, despite the fact that he was already divorced. What am I talking about? Well, what I'm talking about is the process whereby a foreign national can get a green card. I think most people know that based on marriage, if a foreign national is married to a U.S. citizen and that U.S. citizen decides to sponsor them for an I-130 petition for alien relative, if that case is approved, you don't get a 10-year green card automatically. You get a 2-year green card. And the reason for this is that USCIS wants to see whether or not the marriage is going to last. And so at the outset, they only give you a 2-year green card. Right before the end of that 2-year period, in those 90 days before the 2-year anniversary of your green card, you have to file what's called an I-751, a petition to remove conditions on lawful permanent residence. And so that I-751 is usually filed with the foreign national and the U.S. citizen both signing the form. But in some situations, the marriage has gone south, the marriage is on the rocks, the couple has filed for divorce, and the question is then, can the foreign national who got his or her conditional green card keep that green card and get a 10-year permanent green card? In other words, get the conditions removed on their lawful permanent residence and be allowed to stay in the United States forever, assuming that they don't break the law or get deported or anything. And so the answer to that is yes, but these cases are very hard to put together. We've had a few successes lately, and I thought I'd explain it to you a little bit what happened in each case. In the first case, we had a young man from Arizona who had married a woman that he loved very much, and they had a very tumultuous relationship. The couple was very intense. They got along very well, and then they didn't get along very well, and they fought and they made up. They fought and they made up, but eventually they decided to go their separate ways. And in that case, we were able to talk to the U.S. citizen, and even though the marriage had gone poorly and ended badly, she was still willing to sign an affidavit and to give us evidence that the marriage was in fact legitimate. Because that's the main question. The main question is, was the marriage valid at the time of it being entered into, and did both people sort of have good intentions? In other words, was the marriage not just for a green card, but rather because the couple was in love? And so if you can establish that, you're going to be able to get the conditions removed. These cases take a long time. They take probably twice as long as a regular I-751, that is where the couple files jointly. But in this case, the U.S. citizen ex-wife was willing to sign an affidavit to swear under oath that the marriage had been legitimate, that they loved each other, that they were together, and that they had every intention of staying together for the rest of their lives. In the other case, it was a very different kind of a situation. In this case, the foreign national was living in Pakistan. A woman came to the United States, from the United States to Pakistan looking for a husband. They married about 2 weeks after they met. And some people might call it an arranged marriage. It wasn't really an arranged marriage, but it was a marriage where the couple didn't know each other for very long before they got married. And then as soon as the foreign national, the Pakistani man, stayed in the United States, the family of the U.S. citizen wife was very abusive to him. They kept his temporary green card. They kept his passport. They made him work right away as an Uber driver, even though he was a pharmacology student. And so it was a big old mess. It got really nasty really quickly. The couple never lived outside of the family home, and so they didn't really have a lot of documents attesting to the fact that it was a valid marriage. They didn't have leases or utility bills or much of anything, really. And through a lot of work and working with our client to get as much evidence as we could, there was a little bit of evidence. We were able to submit a really long affidavit from him explaining exactly what had happened. We got some affidavits from other people who knew about the situation. We got the divorce records. We got records from the prior immigration filing, and we were able to establish that the marriage was in fact valid. And we had an interview on that one. And in that case, I went down to Dallas and met with my Pakistani client, and we went to the immigration office, and we had a relatively short interview. The officer, I think, just wanted to put eyes on our client to see if he was a good guy and to see if he was believable. And shortly after that interview, we were able to get him his 10-year green card. So he was very happy, and we were very happy to help him. So it is certainly possible to get the conditions removed on your lawful permanent residence, even if you have gotten divorced. These are not easy cases. We've had other successes under the Violence Against Women Act where there's been abuse, and we know how to put these cases together.
We hope you found this immigration answer interesting and helpful. We look forward to answering more of your questions in the future. Please be sure to give us a review on iTunes or wherever you download your podcasts, and please share the show with people who you think might find it helpful. If you have an immigration question that you'd like answered on the show, head on over to immigrationanswershow.com/FQ. That's www.immigrationanswershow.com/FQ, and we'll try to answer it on an upcoming episode.
Thanks for listening to the Immigration Answers Show with Jim Hacking. Be sure to visit us on the web at immigrationanswershow.com. If you have an immigration-related question, please send us an email at questions@immigrationanswershow.com. We look forward to serving you on our next episode. And remember, the answers provided on this show are of a general nature. This show does not constitute legal advice, and no attorney-client relationship is formed. If you have specific questions about your situation, be sure to consult with an experienced immigration lawyer.